Jonathan Majors had his
Wait,
court
wait,
date.
chill. I have came to a new revelation. I've changed my opinion on this matter, and after all the evidence I've seen, that man is guilty. Lock him up. There's no way he can be with Megan Good and just get away with this type of stuff. Like, just for him doing this and getting with Megan Good, I mean, he got to go to jail for it. I'm sorry. He got to go.
So you do believe that this is a real relationship with Megan Good?
Oh yeah, this is definitely real. And I mean, we can't have this. Like, come on now. Look,
You of all people bought into that bullshit.
It is a fake relationship, bro. This is the most.
nah, this is real.
You think it's fake?
This is
It could be.
real. She was the
I don't
girl
think it's fake.
that's who he was texting.
That's what. Yeah, I think so.
Like that's who he was texting. That's when he got to the fight.
I don't say it's real because she even if I'm like, hey Megan, I got a court date today, you got to show up. Like Megan Good could be off doing something else than trying to, you know what I'm saying, come to court with him every time.
She is doing other things. I saw her. I saw a video on my phone, and she was like in a car with a girl just yesterday, and I'm like, whoa, that was really quick turnaround. No Jonathan Majors in sight. If you're new here, you guys all know how it went. In the car on March 25th, it was right after midnight. They were just at a bar. He and his girl, her name is Stephanie. Her name is not really Stephanie. I just say her name's Stephanie because it's irrelevant what her name is. She's a pawn in this. It's a systemic issue, not a one woman against one man's issue. So this woman, Stephanie McMahon Helmsley, really mad at him, gets in a fight, gets over. Now in this interaction, she's on the streets, according to Jonathan Majors, and he carries her into the car. So he does put hands on her, lifts it, and hoists her in. She says, that's when I fell. If you think about a Cadillac Escalade, which was I believe that was what they were driving in, under a chauffeur service called Black Lane, okay? If you fall backwards in a car, what's there? A plushy leather seat. Whatever damage was sustained to the back of the ear that they found out about in the morning wasn't that. Just saying. So there was a fight and Jonathan leaves the car. Now there's surveillance video that an insider article, Laura Italiano, she can tell you herself. I saw surveillance outside of where the car stopped for Jonathan to get out, and she was pulling on his clothing. Ripped the coat. It's evidence when a coat is ripped, and he can show it to you, and leaves. Doesn't see her the entirety of the next 11, 12 hours. She goes to the club. This woman goes to the club, dancing. Now there's a witness inside the car who can tell you that Jonathan never put hands on her. And she goes to the club, and we can see camera footage that she was perfectly fine. No one put hands on her. The bartender was there. He gave her drinks to drink. She drank them, got drunk. He got it. And then all of a sudden, this bartender's like, yeah, I recognize her voice. I can actually be a witness to tell you that she was perfectly fine. So there's 2 witnesses so far. Send some text messages, and we can actually see the moment where Jonathan Major sends the breakup text somewhere around 3 a.m. and she boogies, she gets back home. Now, she was using his credit card because she's stupid, and that because of that, we actually know where she was. We probably wouldn't have known where she was the entire night, but she goes back, and we can see elevator camera of her rising all alone, not with Jonathan, perfectly uninjured. The next thing that happens is she sends a little thing about how she's going to do self-harm to herself. When Jonathan does come, hours later, because he sleeps in a hotel, he says, he comes separate from her, separate, never with her the whole entire time, gets inside his home. She's locked inside of a closet. Hey, come over here. A third witness now who can witness and say, I was the guy Jonathan called to unlock this closet. And she was in that. Yeah, go Blue.
It's a joke, but when Jonathan Majors left to go sleep at the hotel, who you think he went to go sleep with?
I stopped my story just for that.
My bad.
That's what you wanted, right?
Yeah. So it was a Megan Good time.
Am I right?
That's right.
So in comes the guy, unlocks the door. There she is in that case. in that state. Some medics come because Jonathan dialed 911 for her. Medics, police come. They ask her what happened. She says, I don't know, 19 separate times. I don't know was the answer that she gave. She looks at her finger, according to Jonathan, and it's going to be able to be heard during the body cam. What happened to my finger? So she doesn't know about that injury. So all this about he twisted me, roughed me up, that they're accusing didn't happen. The cops allegedly say they say he choked you, say he choked you. That didn't actually happen. That's actually a charge that's been dropped. So that entire court, that entire layout of events, which I'm probably missing a couple things, I'm sorry, happened. In comes this first day of court, this the trial, and they want it to be delayed. And I'm going, wow, what could possibly why would these prosecutors delay it? What do they have? Are they going to find evidence to unprove it? Are they just going to look for more witnesses from allegedly back from when he was in university?
Grade school.
You see, Jonathan Majors was violent and he was just really intimidating. Do they not know the dog whistle that is? I don't care how you can get 40 of these witnesses to talk about his past. None of them, these 40 witnesses, have anything to do, have any power to undo what the bartender is going to tell you. I saw her and she was fine. The time I saw her at the gosh darn club, you know, the perfect place you go to when you're injured, right? That place over there, yeah, she was fine. Nothing, no amount of witnesses talking about his past, about what he did the summer of 2006. Nothing can undo the witness who was in the car, you know, the driver, who was not paid by Jonathan Majors as like a private driver. He was paid for like a service. You can't take away what that man is going to say and say, he didn't lift his finger. He didn't even lift his voice, raise his voice. I talked for a long time. Do you guys want to take it from here?
Oh, I already think they should have been throwing this out. But I have one question, and I just not thought about it. When he called 911, why did the police show up? I just not thought about that. Why?
Maybe
I'm
because
thinking
it's the thing when a woman is hurt and a man is calling, that is just a protocol. Maybe
could be. I mean, that's just a question I have. Not when you started laying it out like that, I started thinking. I call 911. If I call 911 and say, "Hey man, my wife fell down, she's hurt," yada yada yada, I don't think the police on. I'm expecting maybe the paramedics, the fire department to show up, but I'm not expecting police to show up.
You think the paramedics came first and then they saw the situation and they
I don't know. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird that police showed up with the paramedics, or I don't know the time frame if paramedics showed up first and then police. I don't know, but it's just weird. Or if the scenario was that the police showed up and then they're the ones who called the paramedics, right? And then the paramedics showed up later. But it's still weird that the cops were involved in a 911 call about someone being incapacitated,
Yeah.
on drugs or whatever, things of that nature. But as far as the case goes, it's getting embarrassing. It's really getting embarrassing on the prosecution's side. This is the second delay. I want to say this is the second delay.
No,
right?
This is the first
Is
delay
it the first
for the
delay?
trial. Yeah.
First for the trial, but they did want to extend it. Am I correct?
I don't know why. Why do they want to make it longer? Or is it because they want this to drag out? Is that their point? We're really going to hurt this man?
Right. Remember what I said the last time I was on your stream and we was talking about this. I think the whole thing is we're going to hurt him enough to where we make him plead. But if I don't have the evidence, but I can still get a guilty plea or some kind of plea from him, I win. It's a win-win for me. But if I go to trial and I don't have that evidence, I'm going to look stupid.
There's a couple places I want to go. There's 2 terabytes of evidence that they submitted really last minute on Wednesday. That's from the prosecution side. One other thing. So we talked about the paramedics who may have been the reason why cops showed up, because they were like, "Ugh, we need some police because we know how this goes, right?" And whatever. You never know what happens in the real world. But it's fortunate that he is Jonathan Majors and he can make bail and he can not be in the situation where a lot of people would have happening right now, because a lot of people, they wouldn't get this early trial date. They'd have gone in jail in March 25, and August 5th, they'd still be there waiting for their trial. Unfortunately, that's the way the things are. And when it comes to the judgment of our peers, like the paramedics, who's going to make up the jury? There are 12 human beings there who may also think that Jonathan Majors is so intimidating, like the people who we went to school with, who we see tweeting, and who Rolling Stone found to say some stuff about in their article. It's really tricky, because even as innocent as I know he is, because I believe video footage, and I don't think people who get mollywopped go to the club afterwards. And Stephanie is perfectly fine. And then I believe that she did pull her statements right afterwards that she made when she was in cars, intoxicated. All that stuff, right? And I'm pretty sure, I'm very confident, I'm actually certain that the cops coerced her into making this accusation to arrest her, right?
Statement, right?
That Jonathan called 911 on himself. So even though all of that is the case, right, it's still a jury, and it's still up to people who. George Zimmerman is on audio.
Right.
Are you chasing him? No. Yes, I'm chasing him. Okay, stop chasing him. Do not chase him. Well, stand your ground law. He chased somebody. He was advised not to, and he still won his case, right? So a jury, depending on who you select for the jury. I remember in the Zimmerman Trayvon Martin case, the one holdout on the jury, or the one who was like fighting, was the one who wasn't a white woman. What was she? What was her background? Well, she might have been a Latina, and if she wasn't, then she was just. Man, you guys can look up that case. I'm just trying. My main point here right now is that I don't require a jury, to ascribe guilt and to ascribe innocence.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping, not to step on K-Dot, but I'm hoping, because it is a new judge. From what I understand, it's a new judge, right?
Yes.
Maybe this new judge looks at what the evidence is. Maybe, hey, come back in my chambers. Let's talk this out, because there's no need to waste the court's time with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I feel it should. Even if they come to the fact of, hey, man, something pay. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, but this shit need to go. I mean, I think you should get a. I think it should be go on about your business. You know what I'm saying? And if Jonathan Majors now wants to sue her, civilly, that can happen. Or even her, even if she wanted to sue him civilly, that can happen. But as far as a criminal case goes, this should be done. This should be over and done with. You're wasting the court's time. Let's get back to business. Let Jonathan Majors go back to his career. She ain't even stepped foot back in America since.
Yep. She don't want nothing else to do with it. She's at the point where, like, okay, let's say something did happen. Let's say if it did. She's at the point where, like, she does not care about it no more, and she wants to go, because she's like, well, I didn't think it was going to go this far. I don't want to go this far anymore, and I'm just done with it. But it could actually be that she lied. She knows she lied, and she's trying to get away because she's going to be in trouble if she did lie.
Right.
But regardless of anything, throughout this case, it's kind of getting ridiculous at this point. They're just dragging it to drag it. And, the DA and them was talking about, we got evidence, we got stuff, where's the video they would supposedly have? Where's that stuff at? Where's the video of the altercation? They don't have, like, video evidence from any cameras on the street of the altercation outside the vehicle. Like, what happened?
2 terabytes.
Aren't they supposed to have access to all this stuff, and they don't got no evidence?
And honestly, I think that would, if there was video for that, I think that would have leaked. If I'm, what I'm saying, if I'm processing, especially before I go to trial to get my 12 jurors together, I'm leaking that.
Yeah.
I'm leaking that. That way, it's in every juror's mind. No matter what side pick, whatever juror, they saw something. You know what I'm saying? They saw that video. I know they're lying. Say, "Oh no, I didn't see the video." No, you saw the video. I know you're gonna see the video
because and
I'll be able to use that in court.
Yeah. NYC wanted to make him plead. They may work for the average person. Jonathan has money. So if you're the average person, if that exact scenario happened to you guys, would you take the plea? I would fight. I would not take the plea.
I would fight. No, I'm fighting. I think the hardest thing goes back to what you said, though, Chill. If the average person would be, the reason why they would probably plea is because they locked up right now. They not walking the streets free. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I would fight, but if now, what's this been going on since March? I done lost my job because I didn't have enough time to be locked up. You know what I'm saying? I'm using my money, probably my nest egg, to pay for the lawyer. You know what I'm saying? So I'm ready to get out this situation as quick as possible. What can we plead this down to where I just don't look like I'm a complete, you know what I'm saying, crazy person, so I can get back to my life? Because right now, it's psychologically hurting because I'm up in here. They probably got me in Rikers. And we saw what happened with Khalif Browder, you know what I'm saying, over a book bag being up in Rikers. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, the average person probably would have pleaded out. But
there's that story. There's what Rosales was just giving us also. Great. They're delaying it to the fall so they can see how Law and Order SVU crossover is going to handle it. Shut up. People's court trials were more legit than this. She left because she don't want to get beat up Megan Good. Remember, Megan is a member of the Shazam family. With her leaving, that's another like aspect of this that we can't ignore. She has not returned yet. I don't know who's like, just hold on, everybody. We need evidence. The evidence is right there. She is abroad, across the pond. She can't return because if she does, the airport security is going to say, wait a minute, you're supposed to be arrested here. She goes and leaves. And what's corrupt is that when Jonathan Majors successfully gets 2 police precincts, one that happened in the Chinatown neighborhood where the fight occurred at the car, and the other one is where they were in the, where he lives in the penthouse. Both of them say, yeah, we got reason to arrest her. She should be arrested. They deactivated the incident card. The district attorney, Alvin Bragg, who is like, if you look at a picture of him, you can't tell, but it's a white man. Because only a Caucasian man can have the dehumanization towards the guy who looks like Jonathan Majors and says, "You know what? I'm going to put him through this. No matter what roles this actor is going to take to elevate, uplift, and inspire, make money, popularize, melanated people worldwide. No matter what's more important is taking him down." Even though I saw the police body camera footage, which all of us here haven't seen it yet, but according to Majors and his lawyer, it's some corrupt ass cop saying, "Hey, say he choked you." Even though I saw that, what's more important to me, Alvin Bragg, the district attorney, is that we're gonna deactivate the incident card. The iCard is deactivated. She will not be arrested. That was what he wanted. He actually deactivated it, and I think they had to reactivate it. I should put up the insider article to get that exact thing. I was watching somebody named Everything Always.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't him. It was somebody I was watching who said that it was deactivated and she can't be arrested. To my knowledge, he tried to deactivate it successfully once, but it's not permanently deactivated. Like, that's why she can't come back. If she comes back, she'll be wearing orange in her court dates. Like, that's a bad look if you're trying to say this guy attacked this woman, right? And it's the DA. Remember, it is the people against Jonathan Majors. It's not her anymore. It is a systemic issue. Like I said when I started this, I really try not to put too much attention on Heather Sinclair. It's not about her. It's more so about this district attorney. And yeah, the judge, Rachel Pauley, while she's off, she wasn't there. It was a guy named Michael Gaffey. Okay, that's the new judge now. I think that has a lot to do with it. It was like, I think they all trying to pivot off of this terrible position that they all put themselves in, and then they are afraid of the Jonathan Majors backlash. He is going to sue everyone he can, and as he should. Oh, yeah. He really, and it's not about the money he's going to get. It's not even about the reputation. I think it's more so about what.
What's on his side now too is these strikes work in his favor.
He's not missing out on anything.
He's not missing out on
that we're going to go to him. It's going to John Boyega. Nope, he's fine.
He's fine. So he can fight this one 100%.
Just a heads up about the strike. This one has officially passed 100 days now. 100 days longer than the last strike. So
on the writer side, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'd say they're going all the way with this.
Nice.
This actually might be more impactful than the last.
They haven't folded, yeah. And I don't think they will. There's too much union stuff happening with Starbucks, Amazon. Yeah. There's like a wave nationwide. And Hollywood, these guys are industry. They're the industry of influence. Kind of like Kai Cenat. Bring it full circle. You know what? Throw the cops in prison too. Yes. I would love for that to happen. I don't think they'll go to jail for this though. They have like qualified impunity or something like that.
Immunity, yeah, qualified immunity. Yeah.
Get the female, lock her up. I don't care about her. Go back to England. She can't travel to America anymore. I'd be settled fine with that one, okay? Then for ruining Jonathan Majors and lock up all the other humans that were playing dumb this whole entire time. No mercy. Let's think about the paramedics. Like I said, they could have some judgment and call the cops. Or even the 911 operator who could have like a moment in her judgment or his judgment. And the 911 operator says, I'm also going to call the cops. Think about the jury who can be a problem. And then think about the PR firm who are there to defend you. But they go, oh, Jonathan Majors got arrested? Must have done it. Hey, we're going to drop you. And we hear about that noise. Think about the amount of people who just don't want to have a compassion towards Jonathan Majors and just want to rid themselves of a attachment to him because they knew he did it. Did you see the way he looked? A lot of the times when there's moments for judgment, there's like a little bit of subjectivity when it comes to putting your opinion in there to affect an outcome. It seems like it's leaning against favor to people with dark skin. And the darker you are, the longer your sentences are. Where am I getting that quote? Where am I getting that statistic from? I apologize. I should really, you know what I mean? Like tell you where it's from, but
it's true though.
It's true. We all have friends. It feels like, man, that guy's light skin, that guy's dark skin, and they did the same thing at the same time at the same place. And
colorism is a big part of American culture, man. So yeah, that's just how it is, you know.
Like they really think that melanin thing that you get because your parents are from somewhere sunny. They really think that is like a dark. You know what I mean? It's like a evil.
No pun intended, or all puns intended.
Ernest Claybon III. Welcome to the live stream, sir. The third, his name is Ernest Claybon III. Good point with this strike. He has time to fight this and not plead guilty to anything, and he's got the resources. I mean, he's living in a penthouse with 3 floors. He's fine.
Nah, he good. He good. Right now, I'm pretty sure he getting all his tactics together, and I don't even think he need any tactics. They got all the evidence in the world to fight this, man. This should be open and shut. I think any other California, I think they would have threw this out already. That's what I think personally.
Ooh, I don't know. I think California would have definitely pushed this.
I don't know, man.
Well, because I go back. Well, depending on what state, but I think in states like maybe LA or like SF, they would have definitely pursued this because of the whole domestic, like the Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion case.
Yeah,
they would have definitely pursued this because this domestic abuse, you know. That California is definitely not going to be a state that's going to let that slide.
I think the only difference with that was the gun laws in California is crazy.
Yeah, that's it.
The gun laws is crazy in California, and I think that's one of the reasons why it went all the way that it did go is because it was a firearm involved. There's no firearm involved. Hell, there's really no domestic violence involved, but you know. I don't know, man. I just think a different state. I don't think we would even be having this conversation.
As Rosales would remind me, Will Smith at the Oscars gave the slap, quote unquote, the slap to Chris Rock. The district attorney didn't press charges, probably because that was staged. I'm just saying.
Staged or not, 2 men, a man slapped another man. The other man said, "Nah, we good." Just like the girl said, "We good." In the Jonathan Major situation. What the hell? My job is then I'm good. As a DA, I did, you know what I'm saying? I sent my people down there. He don't want to press charges. I did my job. There's no need for me as the state to take over the Will Smith, Chris Rock situation. No more violence. That's it. I don't think there was any reason for the DA to take over for the Jonathan Majors in this girl situation. There's no, if she said no, and I think that's another thing too. Where's the line drawn where 2 grown-ups say, "Nah, we good. I'm separating. She going her way. I'm gonna go my way." That's it. Like he did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Do you think, I asked this to Pam Entertainment TV, okay? A YouTube channel with 200 something subscribers that I encourage you watch this because she also covered Lizzo and Kai Cenat and stuff. So I just said to her, do you, because I watched her video about Majors, Do you think that the DA gave her a heads up to leave the country so she wouldn't get arrested? And she gave me insight. That's a good question. Mrs. Stephanie. Sorry, what did you say, Kata?
She gave you 3 paragraphs.
Yeah, I'm going to read all 3 paragraphs. You know, that's how we put each other on, right? Like maybe some people watching.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying she cares. You know, she gave me all that information and shit.
Right on. And now, and all 28 of you, thumbs up this if you like what she has to say, because I just asked about it. All right. So the woman, Stephanie, left the country at the end of May. Maybe that is why the prosecution deactivated the iCard, so that they could ensure that Mrs. McMahon would return without fear of being arrested. See, we didn't think about that, did we? The prosecution's case hinges on the testimony of Ms. Marvel. So they need her to make this case. So the threat of Ms. McMahon's arrest will definitely have an impact on her testimony and her willingness to return to the country because she lives in Britain. We saw something similar with the Tory Lanez trial with the testimony of Meghan's best friend. Kata, can you provide additional information on this Tory Lanez and her best friend? What?
So what happened was, and this is why I think Tory should have wrote on. I don't know why he didn't. He was being foolish. So his side was alluding to the fact that Kelsey, Meghan's friend, also shot the gun. So the reason they're trying to imply that was because Meghan at the party was having relations with people that her friend Kelsey liked. They got into a fight outside the car or whatever. And, you know, Tory was also alluding to, okay, she shot the gun. There was gun residue found on her, all that. And her fingerprints was also on the gun.
No, and what that got to do with returning to the country? Is Kelsey Canadian, American, what?
Well, no one left the country, but what Kelsey did was that she
got low. She disappeared for a while.
Yeah, she went quiet, disappeared, and when she came back to the case, she got immunity. So she was able to really but say it's like everyone in there knew she touched the gun and probably shot it, but it's like, you get immunity, just go ahead and tell us what happened, right?
Oh.
Regardless, like we know you're going to lie or whatever, but just tell us what happened so we can get past all this nonsense.
So they can convict Tory to get the conviction. That's what they did.
They was really riding on that.
Do you guys think he's guilty or not guilty? Just curious. You must have just hopped in, Toxic Gamer. It's not about I think he's guilty. It's that I know he's not. I know that this man is so innocent. You can see here in the cameras that this is her on the right. Her hand is fine. This is after he allegedly broke her wrist and twisted her arm and laceration behind her ear. And there's a lot of evidence.
Her hand on the railing and it's supposedly broken.
We don't believe that people who get assaulted actually go to the dance floor and dance and chilling with the DJ, and there's a witness that's a DJ. You may not know this, Toxic Gamers, but it's a really silly question to ask if you knew it, but you don't know it. I know you don't know it.
I mean, some people that are like that. Like it's some people that, you know, they get so traumatized about stuff, they might just go do something fun.
Fine, but if you're also doing this, there's a lot of videos of you not being assaulted, and there's a witness who drove you guys who said that actually she was the one being the abuser, and then when you couple that with the fact that she was sending text messages like I'm going to hurt myself, end my own life because you broke up with her, when you combine all the evidence, because he wants to party all the time.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Regardless, even if there is people that do after, you know, stressful situations, they will go do stuff that's not you would expect.
But they don't have.
But in this case, if we're looking at what's going on, you know, her putting her hand on the railing, her on her phone, you know, doing all that, you know, clicking and stuff, it doesn't add up. You said your hand is hurt,
right?
You should go to the hospital so you can get it, you know, looked at. Why would you go to this club when you can risk more injury to your hand? And this is a club, anything can happen. A fight might break out. You might get pushed over. So it doesn't add up in this case of someone who's been abused
Right,
and you're
and
trying to prove that.
I see what K-Dot's saying. Like, you can go do something, like, you get hurt, go to the gym, you know, get your mind off of something. But while you in the gym trying to lift weight or shoot a basketball or whatever, and your arm is, you know, the adrenaline rush comes down, your arm is gonna hurt. It's just gonna be one time, you know what I'm saying? You might be like, shit, this shit hurt. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the whole thing. Okay, yeah, she went to the club. Cool, she can go to the club. That's fine. But nowhere during all this surveillance of that we have of her has one time she grabbed her ear and be like, damn, that shit hurt. She grabbed her hand and say, damn, that she hasn't winced in pain one single time. Nobody looked at her. Her homegirl didn't look at her and say, damn, girl, your eye, you know what I'm saying? You got black eye, your ear, you bleeding from your ear. What happened to your hand? None of that is in there.
Right, and ain't no way. Now, she probably maybe put on some makeup to hide some of this stuff, but ain't no way a girl beat up and bruised is going to go into the club. You know, people go into the club to look for someone to probably have their one night stand with. They trying to look good. Ain't no way nobody going to the club looking beat up and bruised.
It's very unlikely. I don't believe any abuse allegations without substantive evidence. I think if a woman in your life who you're close with, Eric, said it, I think you'd believe that woman in your life without the evidence or anything. How did she text, I'm going to hurt myself with a broken thumb? Yeah. Not with the blood trickling down your ear. Definitely not. It was fresh blood that morning. Let's read more of this. Yeah, Megan Good and Tory Lanez, right? And then the last part, 2 more paragraphs. The prosecution is on a time clock because in New York, they have to prosecute misdemeanors in 60 days from the initial set court hearing, which was August 3rd. Okay, 60 days from August 3rd. That's good to know, isn't it? I'm going to take your word for it. They have to dispose of this case by October. It will be thrown out. So when is Loki? October 6th? Is that it?
6th. Yep, 6th.
Oh, that's a great timing. Thanks for commenting. I've watched your commentary in this case. Love the passion. Already liked her. So yeah, yo. Check out Pam Entertainment TV if you want to read or if you want to see. Actually, I'll direct you there right now because we're about done the stream. I've been Chillmonger. You know where to find me and who I am. SSJK.Sanctum's got a YouTube channel. He's got a face and everything, but you know he's got to hide it right now. Blues House is the YouTube channel also. Why you got Bluminati when you should make your name? I mean, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just
no, because you go there and it redirects back to Blues House. And, everything you do with that redirects. That's why I got it.
Well, Blues House, Bluminati.
All right, hey, chill. I'm gonna split. Thanks for having me on. Free Lizzo, free Jonathan. They all innocent. They did nothing wrong.
And what should we do with T'Challa?
Recast T'Challa as always. Anyone who's against recast T'Challa, you don't like Black Panther. You never cared about Black Panther. Black Panther is important. He's important for the kids. Shuri, you cool, but that's why your movie made $800 million because nobody cares about you. We care about T'Challa, the Black Panther. Recast T'Challa.
Recast, of course. Jonathan's innocent. And I was going to say, check out Pam Entertainment TV and watch her video. We should do that.